Hey everybody, I'm Nate the Movie Guy, and today I will be talking about Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. A charming thief and a band of unlikely adventurers embark on an epic quest to retrieve a lost relic, but things go dangerously awry when they run afoul of the wrong people. So I'm a big fan of the original tabletop RPG. I've played it for a long time. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite things I do outside of, it's one of my favorite hobbies, one of my favorite pastimes. I love D&D so much. And I went with my roommate, his friend, and her D&D crew last night to go see it. I'm gonna be honest, this one I wasn't super excited for, not because I'm like, oh, a Dungeons & Dragons movie, that would never work, that's stupid. I want a D&D movie, I've always have, and I know there's been like some direct-to-DVD ones in the past that have been awful. But the marketing for this movie made it look really boring, like really bland and just kind of like okay at best. So I probably wouldn't have gone if I hadn't been invited along with that group. I'm so glad I ended up going. This movie is probably the most fun movie of the year so far. In a year we've had Cocaine Bear and John Wick 4. This is the most fun I've had at the movies all year so far. This is such a damn fun movie, and I think what makes it so much fun is the cast. This is the best cast of the year, and not because of all of like the performances they give. They're all good. Everyone is good in it. There's no like specific standout like amazing Oscar-worthy performances or anything, but the chemistry between the entire cast is so great, and they bounce off each other so well, and that's really surprising considering how large this cast is. There are a lot of characters in this movie that all have their own things that they are doing and all motivations, and they all play off each other so well. And Chris Pine is a standout. I'll admit that Chris Pine is a standout. Cast him as a charismatic, super charming bard. Of course, he's going to be the best character in the movie. He also is like the central main character, so that makes sense. He does have probably the most screen time out of everybody. But yeah, he's great. Super funny. This whole movie is also just a riot. It's so funny. And it's no surprise, the directors did a super underrated comedy a couple years ago called Game Night that I highly recommend. Go check that out. It's super funny. So that's a great movie. Super funny. So again, going in, I wasn't expecting very much from this, but now looking back and thinking about it, I'm like, okay, I should expect no less from the two directors, because they're great, and their last comedy was fantastic. So there is so much fun to be had here. Also, there are plenty of cool D&D monsters from the game present and shown. And I gotta say, I was really surprised when a good chunk of them were done practically. There were a lot of practical effects in this movie, which doesn't seem like high praise. Like, oh, practical effects, okay. But like, there were a lot of the things they could have done with CGI, they did practically instead, which I thought was cool. The action sequences are also a lot of fun. They're really well choreographed. A lot of long takes, which is really cool. Not a lot of shaky cam or like close-ups or anything to, hide the stunt people or anything. It's really it's really cool. There were a lot of fun set pieces. And I'd say my one gripe with the movie is that the villain is kind of lame. This movie has two villains. One of them is super fun, really awesome, super likable, and in the devilish, evil kind of way. And it was, every time he was on screen, I was just like lit up. I was like, yes, I love this guy. But there's another villain in the movie, and that character is kind of lame. They don't really do anything to flesh them out or like motivation is bland and cliche, but that's it. I think it would be a crime if we don't get more of these, so we can see this incredible cast work together more, because it's so great, and I want to see where all of those characters go next, and I want to see all those actors work together again, because they are all fantastic. I really love this movie, guys. It's so much fun. Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves gets the Nate seal of approval. But yeah, keep an eye out for more videos in the very near future. I'm Nate the Movie Guy. Thanks for watching. And today I will be talking about Dungeons